We are looking at loans. All right, there is the scenario. It says Josh saved 500 Rand each month since earning his first profit for his business. Okay, so he had a business starts making some profit, and he's putting aside 500 Rand a month. He has now accumulated an amount of 17,000. So the money he's saved is built up or accumulated to 17,000. And then we're having a look at this table below. It shows the simple interest rates that could be earned or would be earned over fixed time periods for amounts ranging from 10,000 Rand to 99,999 Rand. Okay, so on the left here, we have the term or how long you can loan for or invest for, sorry. Okay, that's how long you can invest for. And then we have two categories here in these columns. We have a category for investing 10,000 to 24,999, and those are the interest rates per year. And then we have a category if you want to invest 25,000 to 99,999, and those are the interest rates there. Now, this is typical of banks or investment companies. The more money you give them to invest, the higher the returns they are willing to give you. All right, so they want you to give them the money and they'll give you higher interest rates. Often banks do that. Okay, so those are the three columns of information that we're going to use for these questions. I hope you guys will understand. So for example, let's take this first row here, or the second one actually. If you want to invest for 12 months or a year, if you're investing 10,000 to 24,999, you will get an interest rate of 7.76% per year on your investment. But if you invest more money from 25,000 and upwards, you'll get 8.08% interest on your investment. So that's how this works. Okay. Hope that all makes sense. Please remember, feel free to stop me at any point if it doesn't make sense. But here comes the first question. Determine in months how long he took to save up to 17,000 Rand. Nice and easy. It was 500 Rand per month. He made 17,000 Rand or accumulated 17,000. How many months did it take to get there? That's easy to work out. 500 Rand per month up to 17,000. There's the question. How many months did it take to get to 17,000? You guys could tell me. Won't take you long. How many months? If you're doing 500 Rand per month, I'll write it here. 500 Rand per month. How many months to get to 17,000? Quick calculation will tell you that. How do we do it? What do we get? You tell me. Give you guys a minute, but it shouldn't take long to work it out. You can put the answer up in chat if you have an answer, or just give me the thumbs up that you've done it, and then we'll go over it. How long, how many months to get to 17,000? Shouldn't take you long to work that one out. I hope those calculators are ready. I hope they're being used. Yeah, to 17,000, Tando and Dianti. All right, Mohammed there's got 34 months. 34, 34, 34. Very good. Okay, nice and easy to do. So we want to know how many times the 500 was added on to get to 17,000. So how many of these 500s, because each one is per month. So how many of these 500s are there? Well, to do that, we just say, take your 17,000. I'm sure you guys did this. And divide by 500. Cut it up into 500 because every 500 was a month. So 17,000 divided by 500. And that gives us 34. Yes, you guys are on the money. 34 months. Good. Good. Well done. Nice, easy one to warm up with. Let's see what else I have in store for you down the line here. Question B. Write down. Don't calculate or determine. Just write down. So you don't have to do any calculation here. If they say write down the interest rate he will get if he invests his money for 3 years. So there's the table. He wants to invest his money for 3 years. Which interest rate will he get? Who can tell me that? Anyone want to come online and tell me which one he will get and how you got that answer? Anybody out there want to help? Anybody?
Somebody?
Somebody?
Anybody?
Anybody out there?
Come on, guys. We're such a cool bunch.
I'm telling you, it's because everyone went to bed late last night. The sleeping patterns are out of whack. Everyone went to bed late because they still thought it was holiday, and then they woke up early, and now everyone's exhausted. I saw it in
Shame,
class
man.
today. I saw it in class today as well. The kids were falling asleep. So Maria, the question is, which interest rate will this person get if he invests his money for 3 years? Avila is there.
Just check on the screen. There we go.
Hi, sir.
Hey, Avila, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Tell us the answer. How did you get it?
So I believe that the answer is going to be 8.84%, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so you're looking at this row, hey?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Because
so now we
I
got.
believe that you saved 500,000, which is more than 25,000.
Okay, so we got to check how much he's so we got to find out how much he's investing and then pick one of those two. You're right. So the question over here said he's investing 17,000.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be 8.30%, sir.
Absolutely on the money. Well done. All right, so he's investing 17,000, which means he's going to fall in this category, which means for 3 years or 36 months. That's why Havila's choosing this row. It's 8.3%. Well done. Good job. Perfect. Thank you very much. All right, so let's write that down. Okay, so let's say 8.30%. All right, so we just write it down off the chart, 8.3, because it's 36 months and he's investing 17,000. Are you all good with that? If not, please raise your hand, ask questions, guys. Don't just sit there and not know what's going on. All right, please ask questions if you're not sure. Let's not put a point. Let's do it properly. Let's put a comma. Question C. Determine, rounded to the nearest 100 Rand, the amount of interest Josh will earn if he invests his accumulated savings for 3 years. So we know which interest rate he's going to get. He's going to use 8.3%. He invests it for 3 years. How much interest will he make? Now, who can tell me how we can work this out? In the old days in Mathlet, we had to learn the formula. And they've done away with really using formulas, but we can kind of refer back to the simple interest formula here because it's simple. It's really simple to use. And why am I saying simple interest? Because this question here, this table, is for simple interest. Okay. A equals Gabo, yeah. But we just want to know the interest. So instead of A, we could say this. We could say the simple interest that he will earn is equal to the principal amount that he invests. So I'll say P for principal amount times the interest rate that he's earning at times the number of years. Okay, now why did Gabo say PRN? Because P stands for principal amount, which is what you invest in the beginning. Okay. The I stands for the interest rate. And the N stands for the term or the number of years. Okay. All right, so if we put these in, we'll get the answer here. The only thing I want to bring to your attention is the interest rate one. This is very important because the interest rate here must be expressed as a decimal. All right, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. So all we're going to do is take the principal amount, the 17,000 Rand, times it by the 8.3%. That'll give us the percent of interest that he earns for 1 year, and then multiply it by the number of years that he's going to do this, which is the end, which is 3 years. Okay, so now when I know you're looking at this and thinking, oh, the variables, this looks complicated. You'll see when we put the numbers in, it actually isn't that bad. Okay, so let me just cut this out for now. So the principal amount is 17,000 Rand times the interest rate. And remember, we express interest as, whoopsie, 8.3 over 100. Okay, and then this is 3. All right. Now, when I said a decimal, 8.3 divided by 100 will give you a decimal. If I test that on my calculator, if I say 8.3 over 100, that gives me 0,083. All right. So that is the interest rate expressed as a decimal. That's the way it must be put in here. Now, I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to do it a different way as well that I think some of you might do. But let's carry on with this calculation. 17,000 times, I'll use the fraction, 8.3 over 100, which is the same as saying 0.083. And then multiply this by 3 because we've got 3 years. All right, he's doing this for 3 years. Now, some of you might even change this percentage calculation and put the percentage in like this. You might even type in 8.3%. Okay. Now, in the old days, this used to give us problems with the calculators, especially when we had to use this formula backwards. But the calculator now knows that if you say 8.3%, this is the same. Yeah. That's the same as 8.3 over 100 or 0.083. So the calculator knows that if you type that in with the percentage, it will change it for you. So that's not a train smash. Okay. A lot of students used to do that. So 17,000 times, I'm going to just type it in like this now, 0.083, and then times 3. And this will give us 4,233 Rand. Now, this is the interest that was earned. Okay, this is the interest that was earned. All right, so that's how much interest we're going to earn on this investment. If they wanted to know how much will be in the investment at the end of the 3 years, what's the total, the final amount, I'll use words like total and final, then you're going to say, okay, use the word final is what you put in, your principal value, what you put in, plus this interest that you earned. Okay, and you can work out the answer for that. But this question just says, determine the amount of interest Josh will earn. So we don't need to work out the final value. So the A is usually the final value. We're just doing simple interest value here. Okay. Does everyone understand? Are we all good with this? You shouldn't really, matrix, get a compound interest calculation. They don't often come up anymore because we shy away from using the formulas. So compound interest doesn't really come up. But if you have a compound interest question, you will have to do a year-by-year calculation. Work out the interest, add it on, and use the new amount in the next line. Work out the interest on that principal plus the interest, add it on, and then recalculate. Okay. With simple interest, thank you guys for the feedback. With simple interest, it's easy like this. Just like this. Take the principal, multiply by the interest, and multiply by the years. All right. Zavila is saying, sir, don't forget that this question specifically wants you to round off to the nearest 100. So we mustn't forget to do that. So I'll use my little squiggly equal sign to say it's roughly about, round off to the nearest 100. So we're looking at the 2. Will the 2 go up or will it stay? It will stay. So we say like that. Okay. Yes. All right. So that's rounded off to the nearest 100. Okay. Emmanuel, so good to hear that, man. So good to hear that. All right. All your efforts are paying off. All your efforts will pay off. All right, just stick with it and your efforts will pay off. Pleasure, Emmanuel. Thank you. All right, D, thanks for that feedback. So Fiso wants to invest, this is another person now, he wants to invest 24,000 for 48 months instead of 12. So he's looking at 12, but then he decides, no, I want to go to 48. All right. Calculate the difference in percentage points for the interest rate. Now, when we calculate difference, you all know what we have to do. We have to subtract. And this word here, percentage points, don't let that confuse you. It's just normal percentage values. All right, so work out the percentage value, the difference in the percentage value for the interest rate between a 12-month investment and a 48-month investment for 24,000 Rand. Okay, so 12 months versus 48 months for 24,000 Rand. Now, first of all, 24,000 Rand, we're going to have to be in this column here. All right. Secondly, for 12 months, we have to look at this row. And thirdly, for 48 months, we have to look at this row. So they're saying, determine the difference in the percentages if he's investing 24,000, either in 12 months or 48 months, what is the difference in the interest? Okay, don't worry, Somalese. Oh, Tando, it's a good progression. Very good. You keep improving, keep working at it. All right. By the time you get to matric, you're going to be killing it. So we've got 12 months, 7.76%, and we've got 48 months, 8.46%. So 7.76, 8.46. I'm going to come down here. We've got 8.46, the biggest one first, minus 7.76, I think it was. Let's check. 8.46, 7.76. Yes. All right. They want to know the difference in these percentages, which means we have to subtract. And you all should get a nice 0.7%. All right. Nice and easy. Yes. Come on. Is this matric? Where's the hard stuff? Where's the difficult stuff? Where's the meat? All right, let's move on to the next question. Let's see, maybe it's more meaty than this one. Question E, write down the minimum number of years and months a person must invest 25,000 Rand for to earn an interest rate of 8.46%. All right, good. So we've got 25,000 and the interest rate is 8.41%. What is the number of years and months you have to invest for to get this interest rate here? 8.41 if you're investing 25,000. So 8.41 if you're investing 25,000. So if we go to our table again, we're investing 25,000. So we work, in this column. And we have to look at 8.41%. Which is this one. Okay. They want to know how long, years and months must you invest for to get that interest rate? Who can tell me? How long in years and months must you invest for to get that interest rate? Yes, okay. Very good. We've got 18 months. And 18 months is 1 year. And 6 months. Guys, it's too easy. Grade 10s and 11s, I know what you're thinking. Can't wait to get to matric. I think we're going to kill it. All right. This is quite an easy question for matric, guys. I hate to say it. It's not that challenging. The matrics will tell you. Guys, this is not that challenging. But it's good to know that there are these type of questions. You have to get these ones right. All right. Because the harder questions you might struggle with. You have to get these type of questions correct in your matric paper. Yes. Okay, so it's 1 year and 6 months. 18 months is 1 year and 6 months. All you have to do is write it down for 3 marks. Gee, money in the bag. 1 year, 6 months. I'll take my 3 marks. Thank you very much. I'll take it and go. I'll take it and go. All right. Let's stop and have a break there before we get on to the next question, which is quite a long one. We're going to have a look at a break-even analysis. On a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about your final examinations? 10 being extremely worried, like I'm sitting in deep dark waters with great whites circling around me, or 1, not too worried, I'm confident. Of course you can, Tunnel. Oh, guys, we got some 10s here. Arvida's confidence, good. 9.9, Phoebe. Phoebe's like, I'm not 10, but I am 9.9. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very worried about final exams and 1 being not worried at all, I'm confident. How worried are you between 1 and 10? Guys look worried. Oh, there's Chiamo with a 10. Oh, it's not going to be that bad. Yo, you guys are stressing. Bianca is like, nah. Come on, guys. Oh, this video is on 11. Mohammed, 11. 0.1, Catlejo. I love it. I love the confidence. Yo, yeah, these guys are stressing, eh? Guys, you don't have to stress. Stressing doesn't help at all. If you go into an exam stress, all the effort, all the work and effort that you've put in is going to be restricted from coming out. Yeah, stress is in the mind, you rebuke it. But that thing must go. That thing must go, especially if you put effort in and you've worked hard. Then you've got to see, the whole thing about writing an exam is the confidence level. All right. Some people are more confident in examinations than others. That's normal. All right. But it's all about confidence, and you build confidence by practicing, especially math literacy. Past papers and doing questions, you build your confidence. You want to walk into the exam with confidence. You are still going to be stressed. It's absolutely normal. Okay. You're going to be normal to be stressed, but if you work hard and prepare, you're a bit more confident. There will be nerves, but it won't be bad. You won't have this feeling of, I don't know what I'm doing here. That's what you don't want. All right. You want to have nerves, but confidence. Like, I'm nervous for this, but I'm ready for the challenge because I've prepared. I want to see what questions they're going to give me now because I've tried so many. I have a very good understanding of this. What questions are they going to give me? How can they try and challenge me? Because I've practiced. Okay, that's the feeling that you want to walk into an examination with. If you don't prepare, then when you walk into the examination, the nerves will start to take over and they will overpower you. So you need to work hard and prepare to overpower your nerves, be stronger than your nerves and your stress. Okay, so what you're doing here, and you should be working on past papers at home, helps you to take confidence into the examination venue. That's what you want. All right, that's what you want. There still will be nerves. There still will be nerves, but you want to feel confident about your ability when you get into the exam. So please prepare. Don't think it's going to come naturally to you if you don't prepare. All right. You must face your challenges. Yes, but you must face your challenges prepared. All right. Don't walk into a fight against someone and they've got a gun and you carrying a stone and think that everything's going to be fine. All right. You need to prepare for the battle. You need to prepare for the challenge. All right. So make sure you are prepared for the challenge. Okay. Let's have a look at this break-even analysis. We've done many of these, and I promise you, when you see this one, you're going to be like, oh, this is not so bad after all. Okay. Typical break-even analysis in a matric paper. So Susan intends selling cups of Milo at the local taxi rank for extra money. Milo is a nutritious supplement drink developed to provide active people with key vitamins. We know what Milo is. Annexure B, which is below here, I've put it all below, shows the advertisement from her local store where she intends to buy her stock. All right, so there's an advertisement, but all the information is down here in this second block. That's all you need to worry about, okay? So it says Susan started her business 1 month later, and because of the price increase of the products, hey guys, inflation is a thing. It then cost her R9.50 to make 1 cup of Milo. She calculated that the daily fixed cost was 90 Rand. So we're picking up words here, all right? R9.50 for 1 cup. Fixed costs was 90 Rand. And she would be able to sell 100 cups of Milo per day maximum. And she sells at 12.50 Rand per cup. Okay. So the red underline is for the costs and the blue is for the income. Okay, we need a cost information and we need income information here for this business. So the red is the cost, it's R9.50 per cup to make, and there are fixed costs of 90 Rand. Now, who can tell me what kind of fixed costs will there be in making Milo? All right, give me an example, because this is often a question. What kind of fixed costs will her Milo making business have? Can anybody tell me what examples of fixed costs could she have? They don't describe it here, but you guys could come up with some good ones. What examples of fixed costs could she have when she makes the Milo? Milk. Now the milk could come into her variable costs because there's a certain amount of milk per cup of Milo. So that could be counted per cup. So the milk might not be fixed. Electricity to boil the water. Yes. Monthly electricity to boil the water. Okay, yeah. All right, good. You could boil the water once for a whole 100 cups. Yes. Milo is more variable depending on how much Milo she sells. Rent, Emmanuel, normally in a business, rent is a thing. Maybe she's renting a space. Yes. Cups, Somalese, are more variable. It depends on how many she sells. Yes, rent is a good one. Sugar, Fatima, is also going to be variable depending on how much she sells. Items that she will use will cost her. Yeah, so you're right. The items she uses will cost, but the sugar, milk, Milo all depends on how many cups she sells. So the R9.50 that it costs her for 1 cup, that's where all the things like Milo, milk, and sugar will go into. We're talking about fixed costs here. No matter how many cups she makes, she has certain costs. Cleaning material. Yeah, cleaning material is a good one. Electricity is a good one. Rent could be a good one. Transport costs could be a good one. Okay, to get to the taxi rank. That doesn't, so these things don't depend on how many cups she sells. They will always be there, no matter if she sells 1 or no matter if she sells 100. She has to pay these costs. They're fixed. So electricity, power, rent, the transport costs to get to the taxi rank, these things are all fixed costs. Okay. The Milo, the sugar, the milk vary depending on how many cups she makes. So those will be variable costs. Okay. So this R9.50, I'll put a V here because that's the variable cost. And the R9 is the 90 Rand, sorry, is the fixed cost involved. Okay. All right, let's look at the table. Here it comes. It says, determine the value of P in the table. Now, what is this table for? It says income from the sale of cups of Milo. This is not expenses now, guys, not costs. This is income for cups of Milo. Okay, we see here that when she sells no cups, she makes no income. That's a clue that it's income. All right. They want to know how much income will she get for 40 cups. Yes, you guys are fast already. Where are we getting this information from? Well, we know that she sells it at 12.50 Rand per cup, selling. And she's going to get income from selling. All right, 12.50 Rand per cup. So like you guys have done, we're going to say 40 cups times 12.50 Rand per cup 14 times 1250 gives us 500 Rand. So if she sells 400, she sells 40, she gets 500 Rand. Yes. Okay, are we all good? We're all good so far? She sells them at 12 Rand 50 per cup. So she sells 40 cups, 12 times 40, 1250 times 40 is 500 Rand. I hope we're all good so far. Not too bad. Okay. All right. And now this is the question I like. And I would hope that you guys learn to do this one well. Write down an equation. And as soon as you guys see those words, you're like, oh, core maths. No, it's fine. Write down an equation that can be used to calculate this. You've done it. You've done it. You just got to put it in an equation. And I know what you're thinking. What, excuse me, what does the equation look like? What must I put in my equation? Well, there are clues here. All right. This 500 Rand, what do we call it? What do we call this 500 Rand? What should we call this 500 Rand here? It must have a name in our equation. Ladies and gents, what should we call the 500 Rand? It's the income. Very good. So we'll start with the word income. You can write a letter I, but even, excuse me, a word is fine. All right. So the income, you get this by doing something. You did it. You took this thing here and you multiply by this thing here. And this question actually makes it easy for you because look in the table. They said the number of cups must be N. All right. So instead of a question mark here, this part of the equation must be N for the number of cups. And this 12 Rand 50 will just be that. It'll be 12 Rand 50. Okay, there we go. So let's build the equation. To work out the income, you need to know how many cups. We don't know. Could be any amount of cups. And you need to multiply it by 12 Rand 50. If you want to say 12 Rand 50 times N or N times 12 Rand 50, it doesn't matter. You'll get the marks. Okay. So fixed cost plus variable cost equals number of unit equals total cost. Yes, Bianca, we're going to do the cost one now. I think they're going to talk about costs now below this question, and then that will come into play. All right, so to work out the income, we need the number of cups. If you tell me the number of cups, all I'll do is I'll times it by 12 Rand 50 and I'll tell you what your income is. So this equation now can be given to this person to work out any income depending on the number of cups. It depends on the number of cups. Okay, yes. All right, so that is the equation. If you want to write I for income or R for rands, it's fine. Okay, but they suggested N, so we'll use N. If you wrote here cups, that would be okay as well, but they suggested we use N. You see up here, they suggested an N. We'll just use N. So if you wrote the word cups, it's fine. What the letters or the words that you use, whether it's a capital C or a C or an N or a capital I or a small I or the word income, doesn't really matter. It's what it's trying to say that matters. Okay. So we'll just use N for cups. We could have written the word cups there as well. All right. So there's our equation for income. And we used it. We used it up here. Okay. So it's not that difficult. All right. Let's see what the next question is. The next question says, identify the independent variable. Variable. Identify the independent variable in table 2. So here's table 2. We've got to tell them what is independent and what is dependent. Okay. There's two variables here. There's an N and an R that they're showing us. Which one depends on which? Does the number of cups depend on the rands that you make, or do the rands that you make depend on the number of cups? Which way is it? Emmanuel. Yes, Emmanuel.
So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I think it's the income. No, yeah, the cups depend on how much. Sir, wait. Let's understand the
Let's
first
think about
thing.
it. Let's think
Let's
about it.
actually think
Let's
about this.
first
So,
determine that. Which one depends on which? Let's first work that out. Which
so
one depends
when they
on
say
which?
number of cups of Milo and then they give us those values there on top, are
Yeah.
those, is that like the amount that that were created or what?
Yeah, it could be anything. It could have been any
The
value
income
up there.
depends on the amount of cups that, or rather the
Absolutely.
number of cups that is sold. So
Yes, the
income
income,
depends on
the
number of
number of
cups.
cups.
Is
Okay,
the
so
dependent variable, and then the number of cups is independent.
that's it. The income depends on the number of cups. So the income is a dependent variable. The cups are independent. They don't care how many rands you make. You're going to sell, the cups will always be there. But the rands can only be determined if you tell me the number of cups first. So the rands depend on the number of cups, but the cups don't depend on the rand. It doesn't work the other way around. So the cups are independent and the rands are dependent. Okay, excellent, Emmanuel. Good. Okay, so the number of cups are independent and the rands depend on the number of cups. Okay, that's the way it works. Okay. So when they say identify means write it down. Identify the independent variable. We will say number of cups is the independent variable. They used n. All right. Whether you write number of cups or n, you're saying the same thing. Okay. I hope we all got that. All right. Let's move on. Where's the meat in this question now? Come on now. I'm looking for the meat. Here we go. Susan, and this comes back to where is it now? Bianca, this comes back to what you said. So it says here, Susan uses the following formula to determine the cost price of the cups of Milo. So we had the income formula or income equation. Now we've got the cost equation. All right. And Bianca, you mentioned that the cost is determined by the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Yes. Okay. All right. That's where your statement comes in. Okay. So the fixed costs plus the variable costs make the total costs here for this. Bianca, that's what you said. All right. So the cost is equal to 90 Rand plus 9 Rand 50 times N. Remember, N is the number of cups. Okay. So this is the equation for costs. They could ask you to determine this equation and give you the other one. You need to know how to do either one of these. Okay. So when you have costs, all right, total costs, like total income, total costs is your fixed plus your variable. All right. And the variable costs, we had to work it out by saying 9 Rand 50 times however many cups we make. It depends on the number of cups we make. That's why it's called variable. It will vary according to the number of cups we make. The fixed cost will never change, but the variable cost will depend on how many cups you make. That's why it's called variable. Okay. Yo, people are jumping the gun. Yeah, I'm going too slow. Right. The table shows the cost of price, the number of cups of Milo. Calculate the value of Q. Who gave an answer there? Phoebe. Phoebe, you got to come online and help me out here with this. Where's Phoebe? Phoebe, check your screen there. Help me out how you get this answer. Please, Phoebe. Phoebe, you there?
Excuse me, sir?
You there? Phoebe, you there?
Yes. So I took,
You there?
yes. I took the
Go.
formula, the 90 Rand, and I plus it by the 950. Then I times it by the 1250, and I got 208.75.
Oh, okay. I see what you did now. All right. Thank you, Phoebe. I'm just going to put you on mute there. for a second. All right, so Phoebe took the formula and she wanted to put a value in over here for n. All right, to try and work out the total cost. Okay, so now in this table here, they're not asking us to work out the cost price. They actually want us to work out at the top row, that's the number of cups. Okay, so that's what they want us to work out here, the number of cups. So if I write this formula out, cost equals 90 Rand plus 9 Rand 50 times n. It's the n that they want us to work out, because what they do for Q, if you look at this table here under Q, they actually give us a value for the cost. So they give us the cost this time. So this 612.50 is the cost, which goes over here, doesn't it? So I can take the cost away and I can put in here 612 Rand 50. So they're saying if the cost for making a certain number of cups is 612 Rand 50, how many cups did you make? So what we're trying to work out here is the n, the number of cups. So I'm going to use the same equation, and I'm going to put in the values that come from this, that come with the equation, and then I'm going to put in my cost, because that's what they gave me. So they didn't give us the number of cups, and I'm going to try figure out what my n is. Now we're going to do what we do always with equations, guys. Is, oh, these guys are jumping the gun. But you guys are working super fast tonight. Maybe I'm just too slow. Okay, am I going slow tonight? These guys are very fast. What's going on here? All right, so we got to work out what n is. Now, sometimes, guys, and I know what you like, is if the values up here are like 0, 20, 30, or then the next one says got to be 40 because it's 20, 30, then 40. No, you got to calculate it. You have to work it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to move things around in this equation to get that n by itself. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the 90. Okay? How do we get rid of the 90? How is it attached to my n? It's this plus. It's attached with plus. So we're going to minus it. We're going to do the opposite. So we need to minus 90 over here to get rid of that 90. But when you minus 90 on the one side, you have to minus 90 on the other side. So I'm going to write it out here in full. Minus 90. Okay, so this will cancel out now. Okay, so I don't have the 90 anymore. All I have now is 9 Rand 50 times n. Now let me work out what is 612.50 minus 90. So let's quickly do that. 612.50 minus 90 is 522.5. So I'm going to write that here. So this is 522.5 equals 9 Rand 50 times n. Now, I want to get rid of the 9 Rand 50. I want the n by itself. How is the 9 Rand 50 attached to the n? With times. You will all say we must do what to get rid of it? Hey? If it's attached to the n with times, we will use divide. Yes, so we will use divide. So we will divide this thing by 9 Rand 50. Okay. And that will cancel the 9 Rand 50. But what you do on the right, you got to do on the left. And what you do on the left, you got to do on the right. So you got to balance the equation. So now I've just got that n by itself now. The n is finally on its own. Okay. So now I'm going to say n is equal to 522.50 divided by 90. Let's say 522.50 divided by 90. Sorry, not 90. What am I talking about? 950. 55. 55. Now, well done to you guys for getting 55. I hope you did a calculation like this. This is for 3 marks. Eh? Now, sometimes what you guys do is you'll come up to the equation. I know what you guys are like. You're going to come up to this equation here. You're going to start putting numbers in there. You'll say, oh, well, it's 20 in the table, 20, 30. This must be 40. You'll put 40 in there and see, oh, okay, it must be 40. Let's try 40. So 90 plus 950 times 40. That's what it is. Obviously, I've got my equation wrong. That needs to be plus. You'll say, there we go. 470? No, that's too low. Make it bigger. Maybe it's 50. Let's try that. 565? No, it's got to go even bigger. Let's try 60. 660? No, that's too much. Let's come back down. 55? Ah, that's the one. That's called trial and error. That's called trial and error. So I hope you guys use the equation to show some calculation. If you do trial and error, you might not get the marks for this. Okay, so please be careful of using trial and error. This is what they want you to do to change the equation to get n by itself. Okay, I know you guys. You're using trial and error. Okay, be careful because these guys can be tricky. They know this, and what they might do is they actually, this 612.50 might come from a value like 43. You'll be there for days trying to work that out with trial and error. Okay, what you can do is try the equation method. Okay, it mustn't take long. There's 3 marks. You can't take more than 3 or 4 minutes for this. So try the equation method. If you're not getting it, put a star next to this question and come back and do trial and error and just write the answer down and maybe just get 1 mark. Okay, but this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to manipulate the equation and change it around so that you can get the end value by itself. I hope you guys see that. All right. Okay, so you're working in reverse to get your end value. I hope you guys see that. Okay. All right, let's finish off now. Here we go. The graph on answer sheet 1 shows the total income for making up to 100 cups of Milo. Use information on table 3, which is this one now, and we now know that this is 55. Use the information on table 3 to draw another graph representing the costs. So here on the right-hand side, we've got the income already plotted. Okay, there it is. It's plotted. They want us to do one for the costs. Okay, so we just have to plot points from the table. So the first one we're going to plot is 0 and 90. 0 cups at the bottom. So for 0 cups, I have 90 Rand, which is about here. Okay, that red dot there. For 20 cups, it's 280. So go to my graph here, 250. So there's 280 there. For 30 cups, 375. Now 30 is down here in the middle. 375. Oh, that's about there. For 55 cups, crumbs. This is 50 over here, and I need halfway. For 55 cups, it's 612. This is not easy to read off, hey? For 55 cups, it's 612. So 6 to there. All right. For 80, it's 850. 80 is 850. There's 800. I need halfway up. There. There. Then 100, I need 1,040. For 100, I need 1,040. So here's 1,040. All right. Now, when we draw or join these dots, what should we see? How many times have I said this? When we join these dots, what should you see? Everyone should be screaming at me because we've done this so many times. What should we see, ladies and gentlemen, when we join these red dots? A straight line. Thank you. Let's see if we get this straight line. I need a red. I'm going through all the dots. Okay. And you see this little red, this one here. It's not on the line. It's a little bit off. So my dot placement wasn't very good there. Do not do straight line and then up to a dot and then down like that again. Please don't do that. It has to be a straight line. Rather do 3 points. In fact, the first one and the last one are the most important. So the 0 and the 100, and then maybe 1 in the middle are the most important ones. If you're worried about your dots not being on a straight line, but you should be getting a straight line. Okay. In fact, this thing should cross over. It should cross over and meet over there. Okay, that's where it should meet. All right, usually at a nice whole number. Okay, so what the next question is going to be, you know what's coming up next. Right, before we look at that though, is drawing this line enough? Have I covered everything? Look at my line. Will I get all 3 marks for this line? Am I missing anything? What do you think? What am I missing? Labels. This is costs. So I've got to write here costs. Okay, I need a label. They've got one for income. You need one for costs. Maybe make sure you label your line. All right. The next question is going to be, you know it's coming. Yes, you all know. Or expenses, yeah, but they refer to the word costs in the question. So we will use the word costs on our graph. You're right, it is expenses, but because the question says costs all the time, we will use the word cost. The next, you know what's coming after this? They're going to say, how many cups must this person sell to break even? So to say on break even, how many cups? Use your graph to determine how many cups this person must sell to break even. You can all see, yes, you can all see it's 30. So what you do is you go to where the lines cross each other and you draw a line down to your x-axis and you see where it hits. All right. Draw the line in. Show the marker that you know what you're doing. Draw with pencil, always with pencil, on your graph, a line down to 30. Okay? And then in your answer sheet, you write there, break even is 30 cups. Okay. Yes. Now, here's a question for you. Here's a question for you. How many cups must this person sell to start making profit? How many cups must this person sell to start making profit? What do you all say? If we circled it and labeled it, or yeah, so break even, if you can put a label there, that's even better. Just write information there. So you're telling the marker, you know what you're talking about. This dot here with a line going down to 30 is the break even point. Or put a little arrow here and say break even. Even better, Chabo. All right, so just give them the information to show them that you know what you're talking about, okay? Because if you don't and you just write the answer, sometimes you can lose a mark, especially if they use the words in the question that say use your graph. If they say use your graph and you're not using and you're not showing them you're using your graph, you can sometimes lose marks there. So just use your graph. How many cups must this person make to start making profit? How many cups to start making profit? You break even at 30, which means your income and your costs are the same at 30 cups. So how many cups to start making? There we go, Safiso. There we go, Safiso. 31. If 30 is your break even, the next one up will be 31. If on the right-hand side, your income is higher than your expenses. So if your income is higher than your costs or your expenses, then on the right, you are making profit. So the first number to the right, the first cup after 30 is when you start making profits. That'll be 31. Yes, so 31, 32, 33, 34, and onwards. 29 cups, you're not making profit. You're still at a loss.